Good morning, boys and girls. I hope you all had a chance to do your work for causes and effect yesterday, and I hope that went well, and I can't wait to see more of you post your work on the Google Classroom. Today, we are going to be talking about the same story, 21 Elephants, but we're going to be comparing feelings today. Okay, so in every story, with characters that we have, we kind of get to understand the characters' emotions in the story, okay? How the people felt in the story. And we pay a lot of attention to that because sometimes a way a character feels in a story can kind of change how the story makes us feel, and it can change the events of a story, okay? So in our story, 21 Elephants, there are a lot of different emotions that people are feeling in this story, okay? And their emotions change a lot throughout the story. And I bet some of you can already think off the top of your head some of the changes that the characters went through in the story, and the changes that their emotions had, and the changes their emotions had on the story. Sorry, I'm getting tongue twisted. So if we talk a little bit about, so at the beginning of the story, when we read, it was talking about this marvelous bridge being built, and the people were standing there staring at it and oohing and awing and talking a lot about it. And so they were kind of anxious about its arrival, right? So they were kind of anxious for it to be completed and for the building to be for the building of the bridge to be completed. So they're kind of anxious and excited. And then if we read on this page down here, it says some wondered how long it would stand. Okay, so some people were kind of nervous and kind of doubtful about the bridge, about how long it would stand and how sturdy it would be. And then on this page, it talks about the day that the bridge was built. So it says, when the day finally came and the Brooklyn Bridge opened, the landmark was given its due. Flags waved, bands played, kids hurrahed before big wigs and top hats galore. At night, there were fireworks, skyrockets of light that rained for an hour from the top of the towers to the roar of the crowds down below. Packed on sailboats and steamers amidst bright-colored streamers, people partied until the sun rose. Okay, so on this page, we can see that people are very, very excited, right? They're very excited and overwhelmed by this amazing bridge that has just been finished. And they are partying and celebrating, and their emotions make us think that they are very excited and happy about the bridge. But then on a couple pages later, their emotions kind of change again, right? They start asking, is it safe? Okay, is it safe? The cables are so new. Is it safe to go on? And then people argue about the view and how beautiful it is. But then some people are still saying, some could not be persuaded. Similar bridges have fallen. Who wants to bargain? This bridge won't dance in the wind. Okay, so there are a lot of different emotions in this story. And we haven't even gotten to the most important and exciting part when we meet Phineas T. Barnum, right? Because that has a lot to do with people's emotions changing. There's a lot of different emotions after we meet him and after he takes his elephants across the bridge. Okay, so what I want you to do today is I'm putting a worksheet on Google Classroom with this video for you to look at as an example. But I want you to take out a blank piece of paper, and you're gonna copy that worksheet onto your blank piece of paper, just the same thing. And on your blank piece of paper, you'll have the beginning and the end. So we're gonna compare and contrast how their emotions changed throughout the story. Okay, so we just talked about at the beginning, they were excited. Okay. They also felt a couple other ways, right? They were nervous. Okay, so their emotions changed a lot from the beginning to the end of the story. Okay, and in the middle, we're going to write kind of how their emotions stayed the same. Okay. So how did they stay the same? So did people kind of stay excited from the beginning all the way to the end? Or did they stay nervous all the way from the beginning to the end? Okay, so I want you to fill out the chart on Google Classroom, and I want you to tell me how the characters' emotions changed from the beginning of the story to the end, okay? And if you need to, I would rewatch my video again of me reading the story, and as I'm reading, I would just write down every emotion that you hear, okay? That they were excited, they were nervous, they were anxious, and I want you to use those big third grade words, right? I don't want you to just write happy, mad, sad. I want you to use the big third grade words, anxious, embarrassed, disappointed. Okay, use those big words. And I want you to tell me how their emotions changed from the beginning to the end of the story. Because characters' emotions kind of change our story. So if their emotions didn't change throughout the story, then our story might have been very different. Okay, so how a character feels in a story is a very big part of our story and what happens in our story. So we want to make sure that we pay close attention to how those emotions change and how they affect our story. Okay? So on your own piece of paper, you're going to draw this same map, and you are going to write their emotions at the beginning and the end. And I want you to fill up that whole bubble. Give me more than just 2 words, okay? I want you to give me quite a few words of how they're feeling. Okay? And then I want you to post a picture of your work into Google Classroom, or you can post it in the comments under this video. Okay? You can just say in the beginning they felt this, in the end they felt this. Okay? But give me a lot of big third grade words. Okay? I can't wait to see what you write, and I hope that you can get yesterday's activity finished and today's activity finished, because tomorrow we're going to be doing a super fun, awesome activity with this story. Okay? So I can't wait to see the work that you guys post, and I hope you have a great afternoon.